For a year, Manning committed everything to coming back. But as he was working out, the Colts were moving on.
We have Andrew Luck waiting in the wings.
Despite missing the entire 2011 season, Manning was determined to prove he could still play.
Everybody was questioning his arm strength. Everybody was saying he was done. Everybody was throwing Peyton Manning on the scrap heap.
Yeah. And as far as I can see, I just need privacy.
And Manning throwing, and it is a fingertip catch for and Manning airing it out, and a fingertip catch. The merriest.
Get what I want when I want, cause this hunger is driving me. Yeah. I just need to be alone. I just need to be alone. Understand what I'm speaking on. If time is money, I need
and it is caught by Thomas in the end zone for the touchdown.
I look back on my NFL career, I'll know without a doubt that I gave everything I had to help my teams walk away with a win. There were other players who were more talented, but there was no one who could out-prepare me. And because of that, I have no regrets. Well, I fought a good fight. I finished my football race. And after 18 years, it's time. God bless all of you, and God bless football.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Prime Time Action Sports. The day has finally arrived. Thanks for tuning in. It is the NBA Finals. Game 1 tipping off tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Actually, excuse me, Pacific Time. Eastern Time is 9 o'clock. I'm sure most of our viewers are from the West Coast. But it's in Toronto. Kawhi Leonard, the Claw.
Back comes Middleton. Goes behind the back and lost it. Lowry with the steal. He has Giannis behind him. Gets to Leonard. He stuffed a facial by Kawhi Leonard. TNT is being presented by Google Pixel.
Kawhi Leonard, the steal by Lowry, and the
Hosting the returning champs.
One-on-one from Washington. That's the thing that I see. Ball's not moving for them.
They've almost degraded into it.
He shot it
On the
back-to-back champs.
Back-to-back. Yeah, that's right, because they got 3-1. Anyways, it's going to be a good one. We're ready. A lot of people aren't giving a lot of credit to the Raptors. So KD, obviously he's not playing. Might be out for game 2 and maybe the whole series. We don't know. But obviously the words are still clicking. They swept the Blazers. Well, I thought maybe steal a game. But let's just jump right into it. Who do you got and why?
I have the Warriors winning the entire NBA Finals. For one, I just think they're too good.
Yep.
I don't think anyone's going to slow them down. Even if they lose a game, I have them winning in 4, but if it were to come down to it, they lose a game, I think it'll be 4-1.
Well, what are you giving them? Are you giving them the 4-0, 4-1? You got to be confident.
I'm giving them 4-0, but I'm saying if they lose, if it's not 4-0, if I'm somehow wrong, it's 4-1.
You're saying 5. It's going to be a 5-game series.
I'm going to say it's going to be a 4-game
Last
series.
week you said that...
I'll be like a fool if the Raptors come out and win game 1.
As much as I want to agree with you that the Warriors will win, I think that the Raptors are they're saying it's going to be a sweep or 5 games. A lot of reporters out there, Stephen A., Michael Wilbon, a lot of people. I think they're not getting a lot of credit, the Raptors. I mean, hell, they're the best of the East for some reason. They shut down the MVP and the number 1 seed in the Bucks. Kawhi Leonard, I think, switches the mentality so much of that roster from, no offense to Mark DeRozan, you're a baller, but he, they didn't have that championship mentality. People look to Kawhi like, hell, you look at Ibaka, who's made it to a finals, but isn't that mentality. You look at Marcus Gasol, you got Jeremy Lin, you got a lot of depth. Danny Green, who's also a champion too. I think the Raptors aren't getting enough credit, and for that, 7-game series, go Raptors, baby. Break up Golden State Warriors, separate that crew, rumple the league, and then Kawhi Leonard you can dip out after and come to LA if you want. So,
I like that. I like the underdog championship mentality. Not championship mentality, but just that underdog mentality. How can no one appreciate that? Those teams that not really come out of nowhere.
It's also my Lakers.
Obviously, the Raptors were really good, but they did kind of somewhat come out of nowhere. They made it to the finals. Kawhi Leonard in his first year brought them all the way to the finals, and you could honestly say that he's not putting the whole team on his back, but he has carried a lot of that weight on his back from those victories.
Oh, definitely.
But Yeah, based on that, I mean, I still have Golden State in 4. I know that it's easy to get hyped up. It's a new year.
To be a great series, I think. I mean, regardless of the outcome, I think it's going to be good. I like it too. A good argument.
Game 1's going to determine a lot, and I think the Warriors coming out hot. I think they got. I mean, it's easy to say, oh, Kawhi Leonard, he can go in there and he can defeat the Warriors, just saying it, but they actually got to go out there and do it. And the past 4 years, no team has beaten the Warriors in the West to the finals. 5 years, excuse me.
5 straight years. You said they're making it 5 straight. A really cool note of that. This is the first team to make it 5 straight since the '60 Celtics. And if they win it, like you say they will, that'll be also the first team to win since the '60 Celtics, which is one of the best teams of all time. But I like it. But if the Raptors lose, does this affect Kawhi Leonard's mentality? He made it to the finals. Does that affect what he moves in free? He's like, oh, maybe we'll run it again. But you got Kawhi Leonard or Kyle Lowry kind of aging, Marc Gasol aging. Ibaka's a little older too.
Is obviously if they lose, it's obviously going to influence his decision on what he's going to do next year, because he's going to see, oh, we lost. What's going to happen next year? I mean, he can wait it out maybe. If I were him, I'm not him though. I would see where other free agents or what other rumors, or not listen to rumors, but just kind of have a detailed view of what's going on in free agency and kind of know where everyone's going. And that way, when you end up in a situation you ask for a trade, or not even for a trade since this contract is up, he goes somewhere and he gets stuck and, it was better off just staying in Toronto.
When the free agency starts June 30th, dominoes started falling. This time, or that time last year, you saw LeBron was signed within the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Paul George signed, I think, a little bit before that, or after. I don't remember 100%. But is that going to happen? You're saying Kawhi Leonard maybe take the week to see where all the domino pieces fall before you make your big move that you're going to sign a supermax.
No, and the thing is, people probably want to go. You never know. Kawhi doesn't want to leave Toronto. Maybe people are seeing Toronto as, I want to join Toronto. Because I mean, what if Klay Thompson, he could go to Toronto. Kevin Durant could go to Toronto.
Toronto, LA, I don't know. Weather-wise, kind of sucks. Oh. Toronto is the first time ever in franchise history that they're going to be having NBA Finals on their turf. Only team ever to host being in the finals that's in the East is the Hornets. Sorry, Kemba. Like I said, come to LA. We're about winning championships. Great weather. But yeah, I mean, we don't know. Tip-off starts at 6 o'clock our time. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to push this video out for you guys. Sticking with the NFL, or excuse me, the NBA, if DeRozan was on this roster, do they still make it this far?
I don't think so.
I mean, yeah, right?
Yeah.
I feel bad for DeRozan because he's a baller too, and he's one of the best players. Well, he's one of the best shooting guards in the league, but it just goes to show that risk sometimes pays off. Whether it's a Paul George saying I don't want to go anywhere but LA, I'm going to leave, him staying OKC, that's a win. Kawhi Leonard, we don't know, probably not a win, I hope, but that's a big risk you're taking for 1 year left in your contract deal. And I feel like with Anthony Davis coming up, someone's going to have to take that risk too, whether it be Boston. I don't even know who has enough room for him. Who else has he been associated with that I can't think of the top of my head? Anthony Davis, I'm saying other teams are probably going to trade for him this offseason. He's not staying in New Orleans. I'm just saying what teams. Yeah.
Lakers, really?
Yeah, Lakers, you got Boston.
Yeah, Boston, but I mean, I think obviously the front runner is the Lakers.
Yeah.
For him and Kyrie.
Yep. All right. Anything else on NBA before we move on?
Not much going on. We got this series to look forward to.
Yep. Looking forward to it. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Primetime Action Sports. We're back here again. We're gonna hammer out some quick notes right now. Cody Bellinger has hit 20 home runs in the first 56 games of the MLB season.
Towering drive right center. Cody Bellinger beyond belief. Dodgers lead it on number 20 from Cody Bellinger.
Great milestone. 16 years ago today, Finding Nemo came out. Great movie. 16 years ago.
It's crazy.
Makes you feel young or old, huh?
Yeah, it does.
Also, this is kind of something I want to talk about. We got to talk about a little bit NFL.
I saw it in theaters.
Yeah, huh? I think I saw it twice. Great movie. We always talk about, the NBA or the NFL and the Tom Brady's, the Josh Gordons, the Julian Edelmans. I don't know. The list can go on of what players I'm trying to mention, whether it be someone or a nobody. But the question is what makes a player in the NFL a legend? Like what, hand it off to you.
Well, I mean,
what makes a player a legend?
A legend, obviously, the first thing that comes to mind for me is the amount of championships you have, how many times you've won, like just your winning percentage, your winning charisma, and obviously the second thing is your ranking in your stats or your field or whatever you're doing it in. But honestly, a big thing to me, like that separates good players from great players, is executing well under pressure. The players that make the big time plays in the big time moments,
right,
when everyone's watching, when everything's on the line. For example, we talked about this, David Tyree. Everyone's going to remember David Tyree because of that catch. He's a legend for it. He may not be the stat legend, but what he did and how he made that play and the circumstance of the whole situation of how much was at stake.
Pressure from Thomas off the edge. Eli Manning stays on his feet, airs it out down the field. It is caught by Tyree. This ball's thrown and Tyree just goes up for it like a basketball player. Harrison trying to knock it down. And Eli, man, I don't know how he got out of there. I thought he was on the ground, and then he came out of the pile and just slings it. That's a great catch by David Tyree. And now with 59 seconds left, the Giants needing a touchdown. The ball is at the New England 24.
And the team just being the underdog, and he literally held onto that ball with his helmet with two of the best defensive players of their positions of all time.
Hell.
Yeah. You have Rodney Harrison, one of the best strong safeties of all time. And a team that was deemed perfect, 18-0, they were perfect and deemed unbeatable. And a Giants team, a 10-6 Giants team, the 6th seed, came in and beat them. So
you're saying it's those players that step up at the big moments when they're
overall, yeah, that's what makes a legend.
And victories.
Yeah, I mean, look at guys. For example, I'm gonna go to a different sport, MMA. You look at the guy who beat Conor McGregor the first time in the UFC, Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz, you just shook up the world. How's that feel? Hey, I'm not surprised. It's new. Like I said, I knew I was going to start off slow, and as soon as I got warmed up and felt it was going to start turning around, it was going to, and it happened a little earlier than I expected.
Nate, this was a spectacular victory, even more spectacular given the fact you didn't have a training camp for this.
He's a legend now. I mean, obviously, those diehard MMA fans, or not diehard, but fans that follow it closely, they know who Nate Diaz is because, right. I mean, he's been in MMA for a long time. He's been fighting for a long time, and he's a pretty notable name to MMA fans before that big Conor McGregor fight because Conor McGregor brought such a big fan base with him. And, yeah, he beat him, and everyone saw how Nate Diaz was. All it just took was that little bit of spotlight on Nate and how good of a fighter he is. And
I think of moments, too, kind of like similar to what you say, like those moments where your numbers need to be called on. And but there's one moment, and we talked about this, too. I mean, I always want to mention LT and him breaking that record. Like, how could you go wrong with that,
It's a dispute. Tomlinson, off the left side. Tomlinson sidesteps. Hello, history books. You think of all the legends of the game. Guys who had the nose for the end zone. Whether it's a Jim Brown or a Gale Sayers. Generation.
There was a moment where he scored, and instead of like him showbone doing his classic LT thing, all his teammates lifted him up, and he's pointing to all of them saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you. That's a legendary moment for me. Another moment we actually got in a deep discussion was Brett Favre. Yeah, he's one of the best quarterbacks of all time. He has records, whether it be he did. But he still leads NFL in interceptions, so sorry, Brett. But there was a moment, Monday Night Football, his father passes away. Everyone's like, oh, he's not going to play. We don't expect him to play. you know, they were leaning on the backup that whole week. He didn't practice.
Al Michaels with John Madden and Lisa Guerrero. Welcome to Oakland, where the overriding story took place yesterday afternoon in Mississippi when Brett Favre's father, Irv, drove off the road and died, apparently of a massive heart attack. And then, cruel as it is, Brett Favre had to make a decision. Does he play tonight or doesn't he play tonight?
He knows when to be business, and he knows when to play.
How Brett Favre is going to be able to handle this, I have no idea.
I was so nervous before the game. It was the most nervous I've ever been in a game.
This guy shows up, you know, probably slightly over 24 hours of his father passing away. There was the closest thing to someone looking out for someone. It was that game. He was throwing in double coverage. He was throwing, you know, triple coverage. He was slinging it off his back foot. The ugliest passes you'll ever seen.
Third in the league in rushing, and the Raiders are next to last in rushing defense. And Favre throws, and that is caught by Wesley Walls for a touchdown. The long-time yards on a 3rd down and 12. And now Favre, who is 5 for 5 for 105 yards, is 6 for 6 and a touchdown to Javon Walker. Here's a 3rd and 9. Favre swings it to the outside, and the catch is made inbounds by Robert Ferguson. Timeout because of the unsuccessful challenge. And Favre going deep into double coverage, and it is caught by Javon Walker in front of 2 Raiders for a touchdown.
He still stepped up in that moment, got the victory where Oakland fans were cheering for him. He had 4 touchdowns in that game. It was basically a perfect night. And when they asked him after, they said, why, you know, what motivated you to play and play like this? And he's like, all I heard was my father in my ear saying, you better go play, you big old, you know, pansy, I guess you could say. Like, you better go play. No excuses, play like a champ. You know, that's something that stands out to me, and that's just NFL moments for me. You know, kudos to Peyton Manning. I can go on and on for this. But if I got to go to a different sport, it definitely has to be Kobe Bryant, hands down, whether it's an 81-point game, tearing your Achilles and shooting the free throws, you know, coming back from the Celtics beating you to beating the Orlando Magic and then beating the Celtics the year after. His mentality will always go down as probably the strongest in not only NBA but all sports. He's got the mentality that people look to and want to learn from him because he zones everyone out. He's one person off the court and he's one person on the court, and that's where we know the Black Mamba from. So, you know, kind of cool. Do you want to shout out anyone else, any other legends you can't think of before getting in depth? Because we can go in depth for all these legends. There's so many legends.
Yeah, there's so many. Just one that I've watched closely and that I'm a big fan of is obviously Tom Brady. I mean,
oh yeah,
like that guy. He's come from being the 6th quarterback taken in his draft class, being the 4th quarterback on the depth chart, to be starting in a Super Bowl all in the same year. So, I mean, just from what he's come from, he's got 6 rings all by himself. And it's crazy. I mean, he steps up in those big moments. He makes those plays, and how can you hate on that? How can you hate on greatness?
It's hard to. Well, do you want to get anything else before we get into quick takes? Okay, we're gonna take a break. We'll be right back. All right, guys, Prime Time Action Sports. If you don't know, Presley Thomas, Slater Thomas, right here. We're back from Mexico. We're here for the NBA Finals to give you first class kind of service, give you our intake, our analysis. But right now, it's coming to quick takes, the best segment of all time. Slater's going to go first. He's going to quiz me. We have a minute 45. Minute 45?
Yep.
Minute 45 to answer as many questions as we can. Slater's the champ right now. But I came hungry today. I came with a notebook. That's what we have to do. All right. Start.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Where was Kawhi Leonard drafted?
Spurs.
Nope.
Where was he drafted from? Aztecs.
No,
SCSU.
where was he drafted to?
The Spurs. Kawhi Leonard?
Yes.
Spurs.
No.
Is he traded? I don't know. Skip it.
Who has won the slam dunk contest the most times?
Oh, damn. Vince Carter.
No.
Kobe, Michael Jordan.
No.
Shaq.
No.
Dwight Howard.
No.
Nate Robinson.
Yep. Who was the NFC 6th seed this year?
NFL 6th seed. In NFL?
Yes.
AFC? NFC?
I said NFC.
I can't even think. Skip it.
How many MVPs does Peyton Manning have?
2, 3, 4.
No.
3.
No.
2.
No.
5.
What number is Tyme Matthew?
Tyme Matthew, 32.
Where did Patrick Peterson play college ball?
UCLA, USC.
Nope.
Texas A&M.
No.
Skip it.
How many Super Bowls did the Bills lose in a row?
3.
No.
4.
Where did Marshawn Lattimore play? Or where does he play right now? The cornerback.
The Saints.
How many rings does Shaquille O'Neal have?
4.
Who killed Obi-Wan?
Darth Vader.
Where will the Raiders play in 2021?
California.
No.
Oakland.
No.
Las Vegas.
How many professional wins does Floyd Mayweather have in boxing?
50.
What number is Adrian Peterson right now?
26.
What number is Joe Mixon?
32.
No.
23.
No.
21.
No.
24.
No.
Skip it. 25.
No.
Skip it.
What number is Melvin Gordon?
28.
No.
26.
No.
25.
Where did Peyton Manning play college?
Tennessee Longhorns.
Where did Eli Manning play college?
It's over. Ole Miss.
Tim Tebow played for what university?
Florida. Gators.
Who was drafted second overall in this year's NFL draft?
Oh, fuck. That was first. Oh, it's Bosa. Bosa's brother.
What number is Melvin Ingram?
28.
No.
Oh, 54.
Yep. Alright, so...
Okay, so obviously
Miss
time went up.
Got that, so... Got one right.
Hold on, don't tell me that 6 seed. I gotta figure that out. Hold on.
It's easy, bro.
I know, I just can't think off the top of my head. Oh, Eagles. Damn, I wanted to say I saw Carson Wentz in this.
8, 9, 11, 12. You
Damn,
have
I got
12.
12 out of 20. Well, 12 out of 20, not looking too hot. I guess we'll have to rebuttal right here. Alright. Minute 45 for Slater. Damn, 12? That's really bad. I think that's like the lowest one. Pat Pete, where Pat Pete play again? LSU. Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
Alright, Slater, minute 45. Kevin Garnett was drafted by which NBA team?
Timberwolves.
Yeah. Who is Kylo Ren's father?
Luke Skywalker.
Kylo Ren.
Darth Vader.
No.
Anakin.
No.
Skip it.
Who played Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Skip it.
What? Before becoming the Raiders head coach, what occupation did John Gruden?
Monday Night Football analyst.
Okay. How many Finals MVP does Curry have?
0.
What is the last Lakers head coach to lead the franchise to a title?
Phil Jackson.
Who is the last head coach to lead the Lakers to the playoffs?
Mike Brown.
No.
Skip it.
Where is Game 1 of the NBA playoffs or the NBA Finals?
Toronto.
What team was the first team Brett Favre beat?
Falcons.
No.
Packers.
No. What he beat? What team did he beat first?
Skip it.
Okay. Who is Meta World Peace?
Ron Artest.
Who once said, "The gun wouldn't let me fire"?
Tristan.
What number was Lamar Odom on the Lakers?
7.
Who was on the cover of Madden 05?
Ray Lewis.
Before Adrian Peterson was running back, who was the Vikings' long-term running back in Minnesota?
Latavius Murray.
No. Tavius Murray?
Skip it.
To end his career on, T.O. ended his career on what NFL team's practice squad?
Bills.
No.
Bengals.
No.
Skip it.
What player did Meta World Peace elbow?
James Harden.
RG3 attended what college?
Baylor.
What number is Cooper Kupp?
17.
Nope.
18.
Yep. What college did Draymond Green attend?
Skip it.
Who is the number 1 seed in the East?
The Bucks.
Okay. What college did Draymond Green attend? You're done.
I don't know.
Okay. What? You got to 20. All right. You want me to tell you the answer? Or you want to go? Want me to try to give them to you?
Try to read through the questions.
All right. So.
I didn't get it.
Who is Kylo Ren's father?
Why don't I know that? Is it Obi-Wan?
No. Only one of them.
Who's it?
Han Solo.
Oh, well, how did I forget that?
He killed him, bro.
I know that he killed him.
All right.
I just completely... The last Star Wars movie was so bad, I just forgot about all of them.
All right. What player or what? Who? See, I gotta clean this up.
Who played
Electro in the Spider-Man of the Amazing Spider-Man 2?
Gosh, what's his name? I know his name. Freaking.
Give you a hint. Blaming on the alcohol.
I know who it is, dude. I don't know why I can't say his name right now. It's just I can't think of it.
Can we tell you?
No, keep going through it.
Keep going?
Keep going through the ones I didn't get.
All right. Who's the last Lakers head coach to lead Lakers to the playoffs? He said Mike Brown. There was one player slightly after that.
Who was it?
Mike D'Antoni.
Mike D'Antoni. I knew it. I knew it was Mike.
Who was also he's not getting extended also for the Rockets. They're gonna break that up. Did you say Lamar Odom's number?
Yep.
Okay. What was it? 7. All right. Before Adrian Peterson was running back, who was the Vikings veteran running back?
I don't even know.
Number 29. Chester Taylor. Oh, I just throw him. T.O. ended his career on what NFL team's practice squad? He didn't even make the roster. He dropped 2 passes that were probably for 73 yards in the preseason.
What conference was it?
I'll give you a hint because you'll probably guess it. They went on to win the Super Bowl that year.
Seattle?
Yep. It's a bummer, huh?
Yeah,
he was like number 10, yeah. He dropped like 2 open touchdowns for like 70 yards. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, you got 13, bro.
No way.
Because, look, you didn't get Draymond Green, that's 1. Chester Taylor, you didn't get 1, that's 2. T.O.'s practice squad, that's 3. Brett Favre, Cincy. D'Antoni, 5. Kyle Wren, 6. And Electro, 7. So you got 13. Barely. Those are hard questions, I think, on both ends. All right, guys. Well, just want to say thank you for everybody tuning in. If you have no plans this weekend, it's a beautiful Sunday down at Tamarack Beach. A State Beach Classic is hosted. Ulysses Thomas is going to be the host. We got Wiener Schnitzel's coming down. Board and Brew. We got giving away GoPros. Prime Action Sports will be there live to host it all and watch a great surf event. It starts at 8:30 till 5:30. Be there, or you're going to be missing out and you're sorry. Also, thanks for everybody that's been following us on Instagram and YouTube. If you need any help finding us on Instagram, it's Prime Time Action Sports. The I in time is a Y. Slater Thomas right next to me. Presley Thomas right here. If you need any more help, reach out to us. If you have any ideas, want to hit the set via phone call, via person, whatever you want to do, let us know. Willing to help you guys out.